This is the Ghosted Wine podcast, and today we are actually starting a new series, I would say, with me and beautiful Maggie. Hello, Maggie. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thanks for joining and supporting the idea that we have now. So the series is going to be focused on sex toys, and the whole journey and educational part going to be present into those episodes. And me and Maggie decided to collaborate on that. Since Maggie has a very impressive, I would say, resume background on sex toys. So, Maggie, would you please enlighten everyone why you so gorgeous?
Well, I was always making me out to be some kind of expert, but no, I'm a brand ambassador for an internationally renowned sex toy company called Svacom, and they're headquartered in mainland China, but they sell toys all over, and they have some offices in different parts of the States and also some in Europe. And yeah, like I'm just a huge sex toy enthusiast. I've been exploring my sexual pleasure with sex toys for many years. I think it started mostly when I was like in uni, and since then it's kind of just like escalated. And yeah, now I just have a very flamboyant collection of sex toys, and I'm going to be sharing that with you.
Yep. Thank you again for being and doing this. And we have a lot of things actually to cover. So it's going to be, this is why we decided like to have a series with that, because we talked a few days back with Megan, like, okay, so let's talk about this. I was like, it's never gonna fit in one or two episodes. So we decided let's do it like step by step and do the whole episode. So today we will be covering, just basics, which is sex toys in our nowadays society and types of sex toys, right?
Mhm.
So let's start with the first one. Like, let's jump into it. And, what is the actual opinion of the society on sex toys today?
Well, that's the thing, because like it seems like we've moved on a lot. Like, sex toys are a lot more like visible in our society. Like, it's being marketed a lot more explicitly. And I think a lot more sex toys stores are opening up. They're being sold online now. So there's different like platforms. So I think in that sense, we're kind of like moving forward towards a more like open-minded society. But at the same time, I feel like it's one of those like unspoken taboos. Like people still feel like sex toys are a bit of a naughty thing, or maybe something like kind of freakish. Like you have to be very sexually out there to be using sex toys. They're not really seen for like the very normal everyday things that they are. So yeah, like I feel like a lot of women, I mean, even just within my personal friendship group, like I have a lot of friends that have even never used sex toys in their lives, or only have one that they kind of like, rarely use. So I find that quite astounding, because I don't really know what my life would be without sex toys. So yeah, it's kind of strange for me to think that there are some people who like have never experienced the pleasure.
Yeah, I definitely feel you, and I agree with you. I have a lot of friends as well who have never tried it, and like I would say some of them have been posted like as it's slutty or something, because
Wow.
we've been like learn to like have intimacy with someone that we have a deep emotional connection with. But what about like ourselves? Like I have a deep emotional connection with myself. I think that's very important to establish as well. And I think
Mm,
we've mentioned it like with you in our private conversation that it is very important, to have this like self-love on all levels. Because I mean,
yeah.
orgasms are just amazing. Let's just
And
face it.
that's the thing, when it comes to sex, not everything has to be emotional. Like, it's scientifically proven that like orgasms are good for our bodies, it's good for the brain. People who have more regular orgasms are naturally smarter. It's not a coincidence, people. It's good for stress levels, it's good for keeping your like blood pressure down. And it's just good in general in terms of like, lifting up your mood. If you have an orgasm, like the chemicals that are released into your brain automatically like elevate your mood. So that's the thing. It's kind of just like I feel like people need to start getting their daily dose of orgasms, because we do a lot of things for self-care, especially us women. Like we do face masks, we do hair masks, we go get our nails done, we have long baths, we use essential oils. And a lot of people neglect like the sexual aspect. Like we also need to be getting our regular orgasms in. Come on.
And that's the thing, like if you have time, you can like, as you said, like lighting candles, have a long bath, get into the mood, watch porn, or like, like aesthetic porn or like whatever you prefer, and then get into the fantasy or whatever, make it build up. Or you can also do a quickie, it's fine as well. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
whole like ceremony of like preparation for the orgasm to actually have an orgasm. You can just do like in the
Right.
shower, like that's a really good quickie while you have your mask for the hair on. Just like, oh,
Mhm.
what should I do for another 10 minutes? Let me think. I think that's good to know, like, obvious.
Exactly, and most sex toys are waterproof nowadays as well. So I find it's a great addition for the bath. Like if you're having a long bath, bring your sex toy in there with you. Why not? Like you're just
Yeah.
going to be sitting there anyway.
Doing nothing. I mean, read a book, masturbate. Like either way, it's healthy and
Best combination:
everywhere.
masturbate and read. Love it.
Yes, it's nothing, whatever. But like, I feel like a lot of people like still, take it like it's not frowned upon, which I would kind of use, but it's also like kind of like backwards. So even if you do have a toy, you're not actually a proud owner of that. You just like, you have a toy, you have a sex toy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think there's still a bit of mysticism around sex toys. Like most people just keep them like cooped up in their drawer. And it's also something that is not like very regularly talked about. Like I think especially like with women, like we love to chit chat about who we're dating, like who we're seeing, who we're fucking. But then when it comes to actually like, what we do with ourselves, when the mood strikes like that, even just like talking about masturbation in general, I find that still somewhat of a taboo topic amongst women. Like it's something that a lot of people cringe at talking about, which is very bizarre because it's like the 21st century, like, and it's a very natural organic thing. So I think we need to kind of like move out of that stigmatism around like masturbation and self-pleasure, because yeah, we just need to start thinking of it as a form of self-care.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I have a few friends that I've met in my life who are just like, yeah, I don't like masturbation. I was like, are you sure? Did you try it right? What did you use? Because
Are you doing it right?
I'm so stressed. Like I do understand, obviously, there are like different types of body and all. Like some people do not like it. It's fine as well. But I'm like so committed to make sure that they're doing everything right and they actually did it, like, to reach the maximum. Just okay.
Exactly.
If you reached it and you're not feeling okay, then you can give it up. But like don't give it up just yet. Try everything. But I think it's amazing. And I want a slogan like that, like put orgasms in a self-care. Like
Mhm.
that should be
In the
spoken
checklist, like
with a
bath
therapist
check,
as
face
well.
mask check, masturbate check. Okay, I'm good.
Yep. It's like, like morning pill or whatever. You just like, or vitamins, It's like
Mhm.
done. Obviously, because it's a lot of it's very healthy and pleasant, it's happiness. Why wouldn't you want to make yourself happy? And
Exactly.
but yeah, I do agree that we need to speak about it more. Like, which is basically this is why we're doing this. So if you guys,
A podcast.
yep, if you guys like it, leave comments below, put thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't like it, it's fine. And subscribe, hit notification buttons, follow us on RSS everywhere. And now I think we can move into types of sex toys, which we
Mhm.
also gonna do. We're not just gonna talk about it. Right here on the screen, we're gonna put a little like pictures of what actually we're talking about. So you just like, the fuck is that? Oh, this is it. So I would probably suggest take away all the children that are below 18 years old, please. So I think we're good now. Just in case.
Right.
I restrict,
Disclaimer.
I restrict the video, but like just in case. I said what I said. Anyways, so what would you divide into like main types of like sex toys?
So I think for me, the best way to kind of like categorize or like differentiate them is you have toys that are penetrative, and then you have toys which are stimulators. So typically, like if you want to like a really basic way to think about it, it's like external and internal use. So with your stimulating toys, they're kind of more for like external areas and for stimulating your erogenous zones. So with those, you can use them like on your nipples, you can use them in other areas that you can get sexual pleasure. Like for example, I quite like using them on my neck or down the spine if you've got someone that, cause it's kind of hard to do it yourself. So, if you're exploring with someone, you can get them to run it along your spine. That feels really, really nice. And then obviously like, you can use it like just like around your belly, on your clit. So those are like your stimulating ones. They tend to be vibrating vibrators. So they'll have like, you know, different vibration frequencies and also different modes in terms of like, you know, the speeds and things like that.
The Gossip My